So if you're running a claims management company here in the UK, you're probably feeling that regulatory pressure really starting to build. Let's be honest, staying compliant with the FCA, well, it's not just good practice anymore, is it? It's absolutely essential for survival. So let's dive in and explore how you can actually navigate this tricky environment and make compliance work for you, not against you.
And hey, this explainer is brought to you by the specialists over at Compliance Consultant. You might also know them as the Compliance Doctor. They're a dedicated UK FCI regulatory consultancy, and their entire mission is to create practical, real-world solutions for firms just like yours. All right, so first things first. To really get a grip on the challenge, we need to take a look at the current regulatory landscape. And for claims management companies, or CMCs as we call them, it has frankly never been more demanding. The FCA is sending out some very clear signals that they are paying very close attention.
And look, this isn't just speculation or some rumor going around. The FCA's January 2025 Portfolio Letter lays it all out. It explicitly outlines their priority areas for the next couple years. You should think of it less like a warning and more like, well, a direct statement of what they plan to do. The scrutiny is real, and believe me, it's happening right now.
So if you're a compliance director, or maybe you're a founder trying to get a startup off the ground, you're probably wrestling with this every single day, right? You're trying to build a business, but in the back of your mind, you know you need this comprehensive, up-to-date compliance manual. But where do you even start? It's just this constant pressure. And it's so important to understand this pressure because, honestly, the stakes for getting this wrong are incredibly high. We're not talking about a slap on the wrist here. The consequences can fundamentally threaten your entire business and your hard-earned reputation. Okay, to put this into perspective, a recent FCA review dropped a pretty staggering statistic. Are you ready for this? It found that 90% of CMCs were non-compliant with crucial rules on lead generation. That's 90%. And look, this isn't necessarily because people have bad intentions. A lot of the time, it's just because the rules are so complex and they're always changing, making it so hard to keep up. But no matter the reason, the bottom line is that the vast majority of firms are operating with a huge amount of risk.
So what does that risk actually look like in practice? Well, it means things like direct FCA enforcement action. It means damaging breaches of the consumer duty, which can tank your reputation. And it means huge internal costs. I'm talking about weeks of your team's valuable time completely wasted on research, or thousands upon thousands of pounds spent on consultants to fix problems that really could have been avoided in the first place. And just to put a real number on it, commissioning a completely bespoke compliance manual from a consultant, that can cost you up to £25,000. That is a massive capital expense, money that you could be investing back into growing your business. The takeaway here is pretty clear, right? The old way of doing things, of handling compliance, is just too risky and way too expensive.
But what if there was a better way? A solution that's been designed from the ground up to tackle these exact challenges, but without that crazy cost and all the time you have to sink into it. Okay, so now let's pivot from all the problems to a potential answer.
You've probably seen those generic templates you can find online, right? Most of them are just flawed. They're locked PDFs you can't even edit, they're completely out of date, or, and this is the worst one, they're designed for insurers, not for CMCs at all. This solution is totally different. It's a fully editable Word document, it's already updated for all the latest regulations, and it was built from scratch exclusively for claims management companies. And the depth of this resource is really what sets it apart. It has 20 comprehensive sections, and the manual covers the exact issues the FCA is laser focused on right now. So for example, you've got Section 4, which tackles consumer duty specifically for CMCs. Then there's Section 6, which gets right into those critical conduct requirements for lead generation and motor finance. Seriously, every key area you need to worry about is covered.
And this is absolutely crucial. It is current. This is not some document that was written last year and is already out of date. It incorporates everything, the consumer duty, all the new rules for motor finance claims, and every single one of those supervisory priorities from that January 2025 FCA Portfolio Letter. What you're getting is a tool that is ready for today's regulatory reality, right out of the box.
Now, having a great tool is one thing, but really, it's the expertise behind it that truly matters. So who actually created this solution? And more importantly, why should you trust them with something as critical as your firm's compliance?
Well, this manual is the product of Compliance Consultant, the very same firm also known as the Compliance Doctor. What they do is combine that deep expert regulatory knowledge with a really practical, hands-on approach. Their whole focus is on solving the real-world compliance challenges that firms like yours are facing every single day.
And honestly, their credibility really speaks for itself.
They've been a trusted partner to FCA-authorized firms for over 2 decades now, all the way back to the year 2000. The manual itself, it's written by specialists with QCF Level 6 qualifications, which is pretty much the gold standard in the industry. Their entire mission is captured right there in their tagline, making compliance work. Okay, so we've laid it all out. You've seen the challenge, you understand the risks, and you've seen the purpose-built solution. So the final question is, what is the most effective way for you to move forward and really protect your business?
Well, the path forward is pretty straightforward. Step 1. Just acknowledge the risk that an outdated or generic manual poses to your firm right now. Step 2. Secure the solution that's been built specifically for your needs. And finally, Step 3, if you still have any questions at all, you can book a completely no-obligation discovery call to talk about your specific situation.
So there you have it. This explainer was brought to you by Compliance Consultant, home of the Compliance Doctor. If you want to learn more, or if you're ready to schedule that no-obligation discovery call, all their contact details are right there on the screen for you. It really is a simple step towards getting some peace of mind and, most importantly, finally making compliance work for you.